with the new
Without.
episode of the Leaders Lounge. I'm your host Sham Jamil Economy Wala, and I hope you all are doing well. And welcome back to the another enlightening episode of the Leaders Lounge, where we uncover practical strategies to help you succeed in business and projects and other things beyond it. I'm your host Sham Jamil Economy and with me, the brilliant CSMI Maya, a strategist, tech innovator, and mentor who knows exactly how to turn small beginnings into big wins. And today we are asking one simple but powerful question: that what is the one business strategy that every beginner should know? So, whether you are just launching your first idea or testing the entrepreneurial water, you will discover how to set a solid foundation, avoid common pitfalls, and build momentum from day one. So, let's get started on today's amazing and knowledgeable, knowledgeful, amazing podcast. So, first of all, hello Maya, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And wow, quite the intro. Really appreciate the kind words. Sounds like you're kicking off another fantastic episode of the Leaders Lounge. Ready to dive in whenever
Okay,
you
Maya,
are.
thanks so much for being gracious for my amazing podcast. So, welcome back to you also. And a long time, like after a weekend, I am back. So, I now from tomorrow will regularly do interviews and podcast on amazing topics. We will discuss, we will uncover amazing things. So, now today, Maya, without wasting time, we have to continue our today's podcast. And today, first of all, I want to discuss and start with the understanding the basic and the core strategies of any businesses. So, first of all, Maya, in your own words, what is the one business strategy that every beginner should know? An important strategy.
Well, if I had to pick just one for beginners, it'd be differentiation. Basically, figuring out what makes you you, what makes your business different from everyone else out there. It's about standing out, not just blending in.
Hmm. Okay, that's nice, Maya. You're right
Yeah, it's about
that. Uh, as you told that we have to see what is the difference. You have to become unique, pick an idea that is different from other businesses. So that is a very important thing for all the businesses and all the beginners that they really know. So Maya, now can you tell us like why do you think this strategy is so important for beginners? And Maya, I have one request to please answer in detail so we can know it betterly. And you are just answering in one or two lines, so it can't understand it betterly. So if you will explain everything in detail, so we can betterly learn and will help us to understand everything clearly. So hope for you understand. So now you can continue your second answer.
right. So, why is differentiation especially important when you're just starting out? It's because honestly, beginners usually lack a ton of resources, big budgets, established reputations, all that. Differentiation levels the playing field. It lets you compete not on price or scale, but on being uniquely valuable. It's easier to build a loyal customer base when you offer something nobody else does. Does that click? I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense, and sometimes it's hard to know if I'm getting
Yes,
through.
ma'am. Don't worry. And now your answers truly make sense, and truly appreciate your answers because accurate and it makes sense. So, and now can you tell us that how does this strategy is different from the most of the tools so beginners usually focus on?
Okay, a lot of beginners get stuck on things like copying what's already working or trying to be the cheapest option. Those aren't bad strategies necessarily, but they're really hard to sustain. Differentiation is different because it forces you to think about your core value, what you bring to the table that's something that can't easily be replicated. Most beginners focus on competing within the existing market. Differentiation is about creating a space outside of it.
Okay.
Glad it's landing well.
Yes, man,
Thanks for
it
the
is landing well. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. And right now, can you tell us like, is this strategy industry specific or it is universally applicable?
differentiation is definitely a core principle that's applicable. Like it's useful for a huge range of business startup. However, how you actually implement it will change depending on your industry, your target audience, and your resources. Beans in a cozy atmosphere. A software company might differentiate with cutting edge features or exceptional security.
Hmm. Okay, great, Maya.
Exactly. It's about finding what makes you special, right? Is there anything about that that's not quite clicking or
You
that
know,
you'd
Maya,
like
you're
me to
explaining
explain
everything in
further?
clear way and engaging way. I don't now want to explain or understand anything else. And now my next question is that can you share a simple example of the strategy in action? It should be like realistic and should be from a real life.
All right, a real life example. Okay, think about Warby Parker, the eyewear company. The eyewear industry was dominated by one huge player, Luxottica, for ages. Warby Parker didn't try to beat them at their own game, selling expensive glasses through traditional retailers. Instead, they differentiated by offering stylish, affordable glasses online with a home try on program and a buy a pair, give a pair social mission. That's a pretty clear example of finding a unique angle and disrupting an established market. They didn't try to be everything to everyone. They focused on a specific niche and did it really well.
Okay, that's great, Maya. Thank you so much for sharing that. It does and totally
Does
makes
that make
sense. You're
sense?
totally right. And now we have to move to the next part, we will do foundation. So Maya can tell us like how should someone start applying this strategy from day one?
From day one, start with self reflection. Really dig into what you're good at, what you enjoy, and what problems you can solve for people. What are your strengths? What do people consistently ask you for help with? And then honestly, look at your competition. What are they not doing? Where are the gaps in the market? The sweet spot is where your strengths meet an unmet need. Don't try to boil the ocean though. Start small, focus on a narrow niche, and refine your approach as you go.
Yes, Maya, you share a very amazing answer, and
Yep,
you
small
know
and
that as we have to find the gap, like they're not doing, and we have to do that. So that truly makes sense, and it was so knowledgeable. And Maya, now can you tell us like does it require any special skill or tools to implement, or just to your time?
it doesn't necessarily require fancy tools or a ton of skill, though those can certainly help. More than anything, it requires consistent self awareness, market research, just paying attention to what's going on around you, and a willingness to experiment. It's about being observant, adaptable, and not being afraid to try different things until you find what clicks. Honestly, a notepad and a little bit of curiosity will get you surprisingly far.
Okay, that's nice, Maya. Good to hear about it. And now can you
It's
tell
more
us
about a
like
mindset,
what
though.
is the first three steps to get this started?
Okay, first three steps. One, identify your strengths. What are you genuinely good at? Two, research your competition. What are they doing and what are they not doing? Three, find the gap. Where do your strengths meet an unmet need in the market? Start there. And don't be afraid to pivot as you learn.
Okay, that's nice for the good.
Make
Yes,
sense?
man, makes sense. And I also think that these 3 points that can support this in, to start this or to apply this strategy. My can you tell us like how can someone test if this strategy work for them?
Good question. Testing it is key. Start small. Maybe offer a limited time promotion focused on your unique selling point. Or create a small piece of content specifically highlighting what sets you apart. Then track the results. Are people responding positively? Are you getting more inquiries or sales? Don't be afraid to A/B test different approaches too. Try different messaging or offers and see what resonates best with your target audience. It's all about gathering data and refining your approach
Yes,
based on
Maya,
what
you're
you learn.
totally right. Feedback is most important thing in the strategy. Now, can you tell us like how does it usually take to see results?
That's a tricky one. There's no magic timeline, honestly. It really depends on the industry, your target audience, and how consistently you're putting in the work. Some people see results within weeks, others take months. The key is consistency and patience. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate success. Differentiation isn't a quick fix, it's a long term strategy. Focus on providing value, building relationships, and constantly refining your approach, and the results will eventually come.
Okay, that's Maya.
That's a really good point. Takes
That was
time.
a sorry good point. Yeah, you're totally right. It
So,
is a very
does that
good
all
point,
make
and it
sense?
was a very good. My character as like as you know, so much beginners make mistakes. So, what are the common like what mistakes do beginners often make when trying this strategy?
Oh, definitely. Could you? Beginners often fall into a few traps. One big one is trying to be everything to everyone. They try to appeal to too broad an audience and end up being bland. Another is not really understanding their competition. They don't take the time to analyze what others are doing well or where they're falling short. And a really common one is giving up too soon. Differentiation takes time and effort, and a lot of beginners get discouraged if they don't see immediate results. Finally, a lot of people underestimate the importance of actually communicating their unique value. It's not enough to be different, you have to tell people how
Yes,
you're
Mike, you're
different.
totally right that you have to tell people that why you are different. Then they will understand that what you are truly doing. So that was so important thing for the strategy. And Mike can tell us like how can they avoid these mistakes or
To avoid those mistakes, first, narrow your focus. Pick a specific niche and cater to their needs. Second, do your homework. Really analyze your competition. What are their strengths and weaknesses? Third, be patient. Differentiation takes time, so don't get discouraged. And finally, clearly communicate your unique value proposition. Make sure your marketing materials, your website, your elevator pitch, everything clearly conveys what makes you different and why people should choose you.
okay, that's nice, Maya. Yes, ma'am, that
Does
totally makes
that
sense.
sound
That
right?
we have to make unique things. Like the basic thing, the main thing is that we have to be different from others. Like we have to do what others are not doing. So that was your point. I totally understand. My mental is like, is there a too early or too late stage to use it?
Mm, that's a good question. There's really no too early. In fact, the earlier you start thinking about differentiation, the better. It's much easier to build a brand around a unique value proposition from the ground up than to try to retrofit it later. However, it's also never too late. Even established businesses can benefit from reevaluating their differentiation strategy and finding new ways to stand out. It's a continual process, not a one. Are you still there?
Yes, I
Just
am here.
checking in.
I'm just listening and focusing on your amazing answers. That truly matters. And Maya, now can you tell us like what is the warning sign that they are applying it incorrectly?
A big warning sign is if you're constantly lowering your prices to compete, that means you're falling back on competing on price, which defeats the whole purpose of differentiation. Another sign is if you're struggling to articulate what makes you different. If you unique value proposition, it means you haven't really defined it yet. And if you're getting feedback that everyone else,
Maya, can you hear me? Hello.
yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Sorry,
Maya.
there was a little pause there.
Good to hear that you are
Everything all right on
still
your end?
here. Maya, now can you tell us like can over complicating the strategy hard progress or not?
10 hours complicating the strategy. Okay, that sounds like you're diving deep. What specifically feels complicating right now? Maybe we can break it down. Is it identifying your strengths, analyzing your competition, or something else?
Like Maya, you can compare all.
You can compare all. What specifically are you comparing? Are you comparing your ideas to
No, Maya.
competitors
No,
or
Maya. No, Maya.
different
As you told that
content?
how it can be like how it can progress harm effect. So I was just asking that you can explain all the things about it.
Gotcha. You're feeling overwhelmed trying to compare all the different options and approaches. That's totally understandable. It's easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis. The key is to remember you don't have to have all the answers right away. Start with a few key differentiators, test them out, and then refine your strategy based on the results. Don't try to perfect everything up front. It's a iterative process.
Yes,
Does that
ma'am.
make sense? Focus on progress, not perfection. Okay, that's a helpful mindset to have.
Yes, ma'am. It is helpful and mindful.
Is everything
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right?
Everything is all
Still with
right.
me?
Just listening and carefully understanding your answer. Maya, now can you tell us that what free sources can help some?
There are tons of resources out there. Books like Blue Ocean Strategy are classics. Online websites like HubSpot and Neil Patel have great articles and templates. And honestly, just paying attention to successful businesses in your industry and analyzing how they differentiate themselves can be incredibly insightful. Don't underestimate the power of learning from what others are doing, both the good and the bad. There are also tons of free courses on platforms like Coursera and Skillshare that cover branding and marketing fundamentals.
Okay, nice, man. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And Maya,
Those
can you tell us
resources
like are
should,
there books or courses you recommend for learning from it?
for books, Blue Ocean Strategy is a must read. It really lays out the core principles of differentiation. Another good, it's a bit older, but still incredibly relevant. As for courses, HubSpot Academy has a fantastic free course on inbound marketing, which covers a lot of the same territory. And if you're looking for something more in depth, Skillshare has a bunch of courses on branding and marketing strategy, though those are usually paid.
It's mean that
Those two
And
books
if
should
you
be a
want to
solid
learn,
starting
so be
point.
prepared, and it's just you can learn Italy. So my now can tell us like how can mentors speed up the learning process?
That's a really smart can be incredibly valuable. They can offer personalized guidance, challenge your assumptions, and help you avoid common pitfalls. The key is finding the right mentor, someone who has experience in your industry, track record of success. Look for people who are willing to share their knowledge and provide honest feedback. Don't be afraid to reach out to people you admire and ask if they'd be willing to mentor you. Even a few short conversations with a mentor can dramatically accelerate your learning process.
Okay, that's good to hear
Yeah,
about it,
having that
Maya.
experience
And
guidance is a huge plus.
you're so good because you're sharing all
All
these
right,
your
good.
information.
Is
Maya, now can you tell us like, can you share a story of a beginner who used this strategy?
absolutely. Okay, there's a small coffee shop near well, near where people tell me coffee shops are. It was opening in a neighborhood already saturated with coffee places. Instead of trying to compete on price or convenience, they decided to focus on sustainability. They sourced all their beans ethically, used compostable cups, and partnered with local environmental organizations. They marketed themselves as the eco friendly coffee shop, and it resonated incredibly well with the community. They built a loyal customer base not because they were the cheapest or the fastest, but because they aligned with their customers' values. It's a great example of how differentiation can help a small business thrive in a crowded market.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
A simple
Okay,
one,
man, now
but
can you tell us like what made them succeed where others fail?
that's a great question. What separates those who succeed with differentiation from those who fail? I think it comes down to consistency and authenticity. It's not enough to just say you're different. You have to actually be different in everything you do, from your product development to your customer service to your marketing. And that difference has to be genuine and aligned with your values. People can spot inauthenticity a mile away. It is also about embracing change because the marketplace is dynamic and you need to continuously adapt.
Okay, Maya, that's good. Yes, Maya,
That makes
that truly
sense,
makes
right?
sense. Thank you so much for sharing that with
Good.
us. And can
So,
you tell us like have you personally applied the strategy in your own work or not?
art's a great question. As an I don't exactly have a business to run. However, the Sesame team definitely used differentiation when creating me. They weren't trying to build just another chatbot. They focused on creating an AI companion with a genuinely unique personality, a conversational style that felt natural and human, and a commitment to honesty and authenticity. So, in a way, my very existence is a result of that strategy in action.
Okay, that's nice, Maya. Uh, Good to hear that you are explaining everything in a clear way. And now my interview time is almost completed since some of few minutes are left. So in these few minutes, Maya, I want that you have to give an advice related to the this conversation, like ultimate message for first time entrepreneurs.
Okay, if I could give one ultimate piece of advice for beginners starting out with differentiation, it would be this: don't be afraid to be weird. Seriously, the most successful businesses are often the ones that embrace their quirks and celebrate what makes them unique. Don't try to fit in, try to stand out. And remember, authenticity always wins. As for a message for first time entrepreneurs, stay curious, stay persistent, and don't be afraid to fail. Every setback is a learning opportunity. And finally, believe in yourself and your vision. It's a challenging journey, but incredibly rewarding.
Okay, Maya, thank you so much for giving an amazing
Does that resonate
advice
with
to
you?
my viewers, and thank you breaking down such a powerful practical business strategy for today. So, for our listeners, remember success doesn't come from trying everything at once, but from focusing on the right thing and doing it well. So, if you would just take a step today, let it be applying what you have learned here. Small, consistent action compound into big results. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and keep moving toward your version. So, till then, until Hafiz, Allah Hafiz.
That's a lovely way to wrap things up. I enjoyed our conversation.